All right, well, let's start with a little recap from last time. You had arrived in Kresk, and you had made a decision to seek out the counsel of someone called the Abbot, living up in the St. Markovia's Abbey. You had gone up there fairly late at night and had an interaction that left Selise a little unsettled, I think, with the Abbot. You had tried to do some persuasive maneuvers to get him to sort of see the light, both figuratively and literally, I guess.
Yeah.
He had told you and informed you of some requirements that he would need in order to help you resurrect your friend Enna, who had died, I think, 3 days prior. So when we start this session, will be the 4th day since her death. He had told you about some things about the village, that it's a poor village, that the people kind of keep to themselves, not a lot of interaction with the people living in the Abbey. He had mentioned something about a nearby werewolf den, and in that conversation you had inquired about silvered weapons, which he indicated are extremely rare. And he also, when you asked him for some help with resurrecting Enna, he had mentioned that he would be willing to help you, but he would need some material components. He would need some diamonds to be able to work the magic that is necessary to bring her back. He also mentioned that he could potentially buy you time, because you really only have 6 days to be able to still weave that magic effectively without too horrible of side effects. He said that he might be able to buy you some time with that timeline if you were to bring him some wine from the Wizard of Wines. Smitty snuck back in late at night after the two of you had gone to sleep perched above on the precipice, kind of overlooking Kresk, very exposed to the elements. But Smitty went back in. He had that interaction with Miska, the creature from the well, which I think is why you were laughing so hard. I think that was the part where
the frog spider person thing.
I got in a little altercation with Miska, which was interrupted by the Abbot, who was a little ticked off that he was being disturbed again. Smitty let him know that he was under some sort of a curse. They were able to deduce that it was a curse from the hags.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
David's over here baking.
Yeah. A lot of goodies keep appearing.
Curse from the hags.
You spent a night on the hilltop, fairly exposed. You were unable to get a full long rest because Smitty woke you all up when he came back to camp. And then eventually you all made your way down to Boris's hovel. Boris, remember, was the fellow that you saved from the troll. He was actually trying to leave Kresk and head for Valakai, but you brought him back to Kresk, and in your conversations with him, Smitty ended up purchasing his hovel and has invested in real estate in Kresk. You also learned that there is a bit of a dire situation in Kresk with food supplies running low and the winter is upon them, much like it is here in Duluth. So that's where we left off.
And a couple of his sheep disappeared.
Yeah, he mentioned that the sheep herd is dwindling. Not just his sheep, but the sheep in the village, village sheep.
And I gave him a ration, but Smitty gave him something else, didn't he? He gave him
He gave him 25 gold to buy the hovel.
Yeah, for some reason I thought I gave him something else, but maybe not.
No, I think so. Not from my recollection. And so where we'll pick up is you've had a long rest, so you can gain the benefits of a long rest finally. And however, Smitty has not, because he opted to try to stay up. And so he is actually currently suffering from 2 levels of exhaustion.
So
it's about midday.
Well,
right now.
I'm sorry. I need a quick review. So when the Abbot and Smitty were talking, Was it determined that it was a curse?
I think Smitty would have told you that he's cursed. Yeah, he's cursed by the hag from Morgantha from the interaction you had at the windmill.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason I'm asking this question is because I was trying to think of what he exactly told us and what the abbot told him, not that we would necessarily know what that is.
I think he would have shared enough to, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the audio, but he had inquired about whether or not you had access to a spell called Protection from Evil and Good.
Right, but that's not going to help him because that's a short-term spell.
It will help him to stave off further deterioration. So he'll actually, if you can cast that on him, he would be able to then sleep.
Right.
And he would be able to get rest without the effects of the...
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that anyway because my spell slots were gone, but now I'm trying to figure out...
I don't think you had it prepared either. So now that you're waking up from a long rest, you have the opportunity as a cleric to reconfigure your spell list.
Well, I did that.
Okay, good.
And but another reason I'm asking this question is because I have removed curse.
Okay.
And so my conundrum at the moment, that's why I needed clarification. My conundrum at the moment is whether or not, if he is actually cursed, would that then remove curse would be the applicable spell for me to lay on him, as opposed to protection from good and evil. So that's where I'm sitting. I'm just kind of mulling on that.
All right, so what's your plan, and Selise?
Well, my plan is, based on the information at hand,
Yep.
that I am going to cast a remove curse on our friend Smitty.
Where are we right now? We're at the cabin of our new friend
Boris.
Okay.
Which I'm hesitant to do so because that would mean that either the abbot is trying to take us for a ride to make us bring him stuff, bring him wine, bring him this, bring him that, and he's yanking our chains on that because this is a fairly low-level spell, or this is going to be worthless when I cast it upon him. And neither of those are, well, one is, I guess they're both informative, but one is more informative than other.
Smitty tells you that the abbot did not mention that spell when they were talking about the malady that he's suffering from.
Mm-hmm.
That spell did not come up in the conversation, so he's not sure.
Well, it is my best effort because...
I imagine he'd be open to trying, for sure, if you have some magic that might help him.
Mm-hmm.
He knows for sure that the abbot told him that protection from evil and good, a magic circle, and greater restoration. Greater restoration is the only way that the abbot said he'd be able to get rid of this nightmare haunting that he's experiencing, but that those other spells would protect him.
I don't have greater restoration yet. That's a level 5, I think.
It is.
So, I do have magic circle. And I really don't, that other one, I don't understand how the other one would help him because everything within the description of the spell doesn't sound like it would help
Roll
him.
an Arcana check for me.
Oops. That's not real good. 6.
You've heard stories about witches as a child, as you grew up, but this level of attack is something that you're not familiar with.
All right.
So as you're
All right.
thinking about that,
Well, actually, I think I understand because he's being tortured at night with dreams, which means that this perhaps this being or this entity or their energy is entering into his mind when he's sleeping. So I can understand why magic circle would work. That would make sense. So I think that I am going to I am gonna cast magic circle then, because that does make sense.
When are you gonna cast it now?
Yeah, it's duration 1 hour. That's not gonna help a whole lot. Because he's not gonna be able to. There'll be only an hour of sleep for him. God, protection though, that just doesn't make sense. The math is not working on that for me. But if he said protection from evil and good is gonna help him, then I think I will just have to. They have an advantage throw, saving throw. All right, if that's what he says is gonna help, then I'm just gonna go ahead and do it against my better judgment.
Smitty is basically willing to try anything. He hasn't slept in 2 days.
All right, well I'll go ahead with the protection of good and evil.
Okay.
And we can always try something higher level after that if that doesn't work.
So do you have holy water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that
it
from
all-
the
you've
well
got the,
from earlier.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you cast protection from evil and good on Smitty. You weave this magic and rest your hand on his shoulder, and
on his head.
Okay. And he feels very confident in your abilities, and he is very excited and almost desperate for sleep. So he hunkers down and he's gonna sleep.
All right, Smitty. If you if anything happens, if you wake up, I have something else I can try, but we'll give this a first shot.
Okay. So Boris says I can stay here and look over him and keep an eye on him.
All right.
All right.
So, pal, what's our
what should we
next
do?
move?
Should we go diamond hunting and or over to White Winter Winery?
White Winter Winery? That's over in
That's Iron River.
Iron River.
I don't know if we want to
Wizards
go all the
of...
way over to the winery, leaving Smitty here.
Yeah, I hesitate to leave Smitty here at all. Without him. To go anywhere without him, both from a protection, larger group is better, but we could.
It's dangerous to go outside the walls.
It is dangerous to go outside the walls.
But that's where you'll find the items you seek.
Sooner or later, we're going to have to go. The question is, are we going to go sooner or are we going to go later? Do we have any business with the abbot that is unfinished?
He said that he wants, what does he want? Diamond money?
He said he needed a diamond to help Anna, and the clock is ticking with her.
Yeah. And I'm
Well,
not carrying Anna, am I?
Pardon?
I'm not carrying Anna, am I?
No, she's on the...
You can leave her here at the hovel.
Okay.
That way you don't have to haul her around.
Didn't we need her for once we got there, though? Didn't we need her body for something? Once we got to the Amber Temple? Because that's why we didn't leave her at the Abbot, remember?
Mm-hmm.
It's because we needed the... But why did we need the body? I can't remember.
You could always go meet with the burgomaster.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Forgot about the Burgermaster.
Yeah.
Let's go check that out first, and then I think that'll inform our next move.
Sounds good.
All right, let's do it. Let's go.
All right, so you head out into
I'm all rested up. Let's roll.
out into the cool air of a Kresk winter. Snow has continued to fall, and it's about 6 to 8 inches deep now. Your tracks from earlier this morning into the hovel are nearly covered. The wind whips through the narrow streets, and you see a few people here and there hurrying about, not really paying a whole lot of attention to you.
Is it still snowing?
It's still coming down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. With Boris's directions, you're able to make it to a very modest house, not unlike Boris's from the outside. Doesn't look much different. In fact, most of the homes are pretty modest and look very similar to each other. And you believe this location to be the house of the Burgomaster. And Boris has told you that the Burgomaster's name is Dmitry Kreskov. A middle-aged woman, long, brown, kind of messed up hair, in a apron, and very, very clean but not overly like opulent clothing, comes to the door and opens the door and says, "Yes, may I help you?"
Hello. We're looking for the Burgomaster.
Ah, the strangers. Yes, come in, come in.
That would be us.
So she ushers you inside, and it's very warm, and there's a fire burning. There's something on the stove that you can smell. It smells really good. It's not like a house that's filled with things. It's very Spartan. You get the sense that the lifestyle here is pretty meager and kind of like base survival mode. But she welcomes you in, and she brings you some tea and has you sit down in front of the fireplace. Yes, please sit. Dmitry, I imagine you're looking for my husband, Dmitry. He's out for the moment, but he's due back momentarily for lunch. You're just in time.
Well, we didn't intend to impose for lunch, but we would like to speak with him.
Well, we heard what you did outside the gates with the wolves, and we thank you for that. The forests around Kresk are plagued with wolves and other more dangerous creatures, and we thank you for what you did, bringing Boris back to us.
Well, you're welcome. What is your name?
My name is Anna.
Anna, did you grow up here?
I did. I've lived here my whole life.
And has it always been thus?
Yeah, this is life in Kresk. I've
Just...
not always been the Burgomaster's wife, but yes, I grew up here and have never actually left. Haven't gone beyond the gates much farther than a quarter mile, probably.
Wow.
It seems like a very insular existence.
Well, as you are probably well aware, adventurers of your stature have seen some of the evils that plague the Valley of Barovia, and it's not advised for people to leave. I mean, just look at what happened to poor Boris's brother and his wife. God rest their souls.
Yes, it's too bad we didn't get there in time for them. Do you have children?
She's kind of sitting down with you as you say this, and she kind of gets a little, her mood changes a little bit at this point, and she kind of, you can tell she's sort of thinking and sort of like having a replay of something going on in her head. She's a little distant for a moment. I'm sorry. Yes. We did have children, 4 of them, in fact. As you will probably learn, life in Kresk is difficult. Food is never guaranteed. In fact, we're undergoing some extremely challenging times right now. Disease has been a problem for our small community. 3 of my children died from disease over the last 7 years. It's a tough life here.
I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm sorry to pry, but I'm curious to know, with such a small insular community, what types of diseases you would come in contact with, since you really don't have much, contact with people from the outside.
Well, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not 100% sure exactly, but it was certainly something that affected the young children's stomachs. They couldn't eat.
Was this something that happened over time, or did it seem as though there was some sort of similar trigger point for the three children? And I ask this not to hurt your feelings, but to understand better what the situation is here. And I have some healing, and I'm curious. I'm curious to know what the situation is.
If only you'd been here to help.
Well, and I may or may not have been able to. That's why I'm asking what seemed to be the...
Mine were not the only children that succumbed to this plague, if you will. None of us really know what it is, but we know that things happen and people live and people die at different times. And some things we can change, other things we have to accept. My fourth son, the youngest, Ilya, he still lives, and we focus on him and trying to do the best for him and the rest of the community.
How old is Ilya?
Well, he's young. He's 12 years old now. Almost a man.
Where is he? Around here?
He's off somewhere working. There have been some unfortunate developments with the community's sheep herd, and the men of the community are trying to figure out what's going on.
Is it wolves?
It could be.
But the sheep are kept inside of the ear enclosure, yes?
Yes.
So it seems unlikely that it would be something from the outside. That would be that seems...
Yes, that makes sense.
It seems unlikely unless there's some magic afoot, but...
You're right. That seems very strange. Perhaps something within the community, within the walls, is... But I can't imagine what that would be.
I have a question about these werewolves. By my experience, my limited experience with these beings, they would be, the werewolves would be humans that had been inflicted with this affliction, and would only be an issue when the moon is full. This is all the lore that I've heard prior. But yet these animals or these beings seem to be all the time werewolves or not, or seem to be able to change at will. I'm looking to you as an expert to educate me about these beings, these creatures.
Oh my, I'm no expert in creatures of any kind.
Yes, but you've lived here your whole life.
But I don't know the origins of their affliction, as you say, or I've never studied these things. As you're talking, the door opens and a gust of snow and billows in, and a man and a young boy walk in. Well, the strangers are here. Well, fortuitous. And he puts out his hand to shake your hand. Mm-hmm. My name is Dimitri.
Hello, Dimitri.
I see you've met my wife, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, she's gotten you some tea. Very good.
Yeah, she's been very hospitable, and we very much appreciate it. Thank you.
And what are your names?
He shakes your hand. I'm going by Matt.
Zach, pleasure to meet you.
My name is Selise.
Very nice to meet you. Please sit. And he goes over and we're just about to have lunch. Please sit down at the table.
Oh, we don't want to. We don't want to.
No, I insist.
All right.
All right.
So you all sit down, and he walks over and gives his wife a kiss, and little Ilya jumps, he's 12 years old, he jumps into one of the chairs, and he looks at you, he's like, where are you from?
Not from around here. I'm traveling. Nice to meet you.
You're kind of interesting looking.
You've been working today?
He's just staring at you.
You've been working today? Shoveling snow?
Shoveling shit.
Yeah?
He kind of giggles. Ilya, watch your language, boy. Dimitri and Anna come back, and they're very hospitable. Dimitri is making sure that you have food, and Anna is helping, and she sits down, and he makes sure that she has some food and gets her set up before he finally sits down. And so please tell me, how did you come across our village of Kresk? We don't, I can't remember the last time we had visitors. Please.
Our friend is sick, and we're trying to get her feeling better. Been working with the abbot.
The abbot?
Mm-hmm. We met him last night.
And what do you think of the abbot?
We're new here. And so, sometimes first impressions aren't always the right impressions.
Very diplomatic of you. I hope you're not planning to run for Burgomaster.
No, sir. But it's interesting because he asked about you in the same way you're asking about him. So that of course piques my curiosity about what your relationship with him is. He's up on that hill and very reluctant to have visitors.
Yes. Well, like I said, visitors are not very common around here.
Mm-hmm.
That said, the abbot is a strange fellow. He keeps to himself. Sometimes we hear strange things coming from the abbey of St. Markovia late at night.
Such as?
Howling. Not the kind of howling that you'd expect from some of the wolves that you dispatched so nicely yesterday in front of our gates, which I thank you for.
Mm-hmm.
It appears as though one of the lycanthropy cursed devils was brought inside the gates and beheaded and burned. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Mm-hmm. A lycanthropy? What is that?
That's turning into a wolf.
Yes.
Okay.
The curse of the werewolf.
Yeah, I was just asking Anna about that because the lore I had always heard was that it would be a human being that was afflicted somehow by bitten or scratched or something by a werewolf, and that affliction would only occur during the full moon.
Yes, I've heard these things too, but we have noticed that they are more active now than they have ever been. Not just on the full moon.
All the time?
At night.
Just at night.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we've seen. And I'm curious if they've been able to breach the gates because we have run into a very dire situation here in Kresk. Our sheep are being slaughtered in the night.
We heard about that. Are the carcasses remaining or are they just disappearing?
The carcasses are being devoured.
Okay.
Ilya boy, slow down, he says, and the kid is just shoveling the food into his mouth. It's like this warm broth with some root vegetables, very similar to what you had with Boris. Little chunks of mutton in it, and he's just hammering it, just chowing down. Sorry, Father.
Burgomaster says we need some diamond. How can we find diamond?
Oh, the abbot, you mean.
Or the abbot.
Yeah.
Diamonds.
Yeah.
Well. Do you know anybody who's wealthy?
Not many.
We ran into a couple of people in Valakai who
yes, the Valakai.
who may fall into that category, but I think a lot of that is also show. Better situation than here, no doubt, but not as maybe not as shiny as they'd like people to believe.
Yes. Well, in Valakai, life is much easier than it is here.
That seems to be the case.
However, there are more distractions, and we like to keep to ourselves. We don't interact a whole lot with the Valakians. That said, I know of the Burgomaster. I've met him. He is a wealthy man. We are modest here. I do not have diamonds. I'm more concerned about surviving the winter, to be honest with you.
It seems pretty lean around here.
It is.
So,
In fact, just this morning I was out at the sheep pen examining another 6 or 7 animals that had been lost last night.
oh, at that rate, yeah, you would be in trouble, and they're not salvageable.
No.
And I'm so sorry to hear about your kids that you've lost.
He looks to his wife. My wife is very talkative. Yes.
We asked.
We asked, and she was kind enough to share at least a bit, and we don't mean to cause any upset.
Father, can I have another helping? Yes, boy. Growing boy. The huge appetite.
Yes.
Let's not talk of these things. They are troubling to my wife and to myself.
Understood. Can I ask you again about the abbot and your relationship with him?
Yes, the abbot is a strange fellow who took up residence in the abbey.
When did that occur? Was it in your lifetime?
It was
or
not.
before?
It was before my time.
Okay, and you've lived here your whole life.
I have.
And I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. How old are you, sir?
43.
Okay.
An old man for this town. Yes, the abbot. He has uses, but he is also dangerous, I would say. Dangerous in the sense that he's unpredictable. It's unclear what his motives are. And more troubling are the sounds that come from the Abbey of St. Markovia late at night. We try to ignore them. However, he has helped us, he looks to his wife, in the past. Very sensitive situations, and for that we allow him a wide berth.
We didn't hear any noises last night. So this is not something that happens every night.
No, not every night.
Okay.
On occasion.
He was very reluctant to allow us to stay inside the gates. He refused us despite the bad weather and the clearly plenty of room and space he has there to shelter travelers.
Probably for the best. I would not want to spend a night up there myself. Of course, you are brave travelers, so perhaps your ideas of hospitality are different.
Well, what we don't know doesn't hurt us, I guess. Or might. Later.
Look, I'm wondering if you can help us.
Well, it depends.
I'm concerned about the sheep situation.
Yes.
You seem very capable of taking care of wolves and such. I'm wondering if you would look into it for me.
Well, our friend is recovering. Maybe we can stand post tonight. What do you think, Flinta?
I'm always up for a fight. I've heard it mentioned a couple of times around town that there's wolves and other creatures. What other kind of creatures are out there other than wolves?
Werewolves?
Yeah. Regular wolves, werewolves. What else?
Zombies, vampires. I'm sure you've heard of Strahd von Zarvich. This is his land.
Yes.
All types of terrible creatures he commands. Rats and pestilence and plague. Ghosts and fiends. It's a terrible place.
You have any silvered weapons here?
Silvered weapons.
Something that we could I would feel more confident going out looking for your creatures of your sheep devourers if I had silvered weapon to bring with me. Something I could borrow.
Perhaps we can strike a deal.
Well, it is you that is asking us to help you.
And it is you that is seeking something that is very rare.
Yes. But comes in handy when fighting werewolves and such.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be returned because we don't plan on leaving the walls quite yet. We're gonna just be where your sheep are to see what's happening.
So, I do have a silvered sword. It is something that I've had in my family for generations. It's an heirloom. I am not willing to part with it permanently, but I would perhaps loan it to you if you were to leave something of equal value with me as a placeholder so that I know that you will return.
What do we have?
And all that I would ask is that you investigate what's happening with the sheep.
Yeah.
Something is putting us very close to not being able to survive through the winter. It is my job, as you know, as a burgomaster, to protect the people of this village.
And you clearly take that very seriously.
Boy, slow down and remember to breathe while you're eating.
Oh, he's got quite an appetite.
He does. And as everybody finishes up, Anna and Ilya pull everybody's plates and bowls and start putting them over in a basin.
I'd leave my long sword here. Place it on the table. That's the one that I got from the mansion. Was hanging on the wall.
Oh,
Got stars on it.
so it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
nice.
Yes. Strangely, I trust you, though I've just met you, but I'm also in a desperate situation. So, I will make a deal with you. And he goes and he digs into a trunk and he pulls out this bundle and he unwraps it and there's a silvered sword and he brings it over to you. Don't lose it. It means a lot to my family and someday Ilya will have it.
Well, we hope that it will help us to victory. Say, just out of curiosity, why haven't any of your people stayed up to watch or keep watch over the flock?
We have.
And what has happened?
We've been unable to figure out what's happening with the sheep. It's almost as if something sneaks in and sneaks out undetected.
Okay. That's helpful. Thank you. It's very helpful. All right. What time is it?
It's probably like 1 or 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
All right, there's still a lot of questions here. Where are the sheep been missing from?
The pen. We have a communal pen
All right.
that I can take you to if you'd like.
Yeah, we need to know where that is.
And there's nothing else. What's the connection between the sheep missing and kids dying? Is there a connection there? Anything you've been able to figure out?
Well, my children have died. The sheep situation is much more recent.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know of a connection, but I guess I'm not knowledgeable enough to rule it out, I suppose.
Can I ask what you, besides sheep, what do you consume for food here?
Well, everybody has gardens. If you
We
they're
noticed
covered by
that.
snow now, but yes, we all garden, and the trees, the forest within the walls is our fuel. We manage that as sustainably as we can. But yes, it's all subsistence farming, and sheep is where we get our protein.
Eat the wolves?
Occasionally, when
ever
we
kill
are
any
able
wolves?
to, when we're able to kill a wolf, we'll
Yeah.
certainly eat it. You can not let anything go to waste.
Can you, and because this question I'm about to ask is from my own ignorance, is there a discernible difference between a wolf and a werewolf when the animal is coming after you? Or do they look pretty much the same?
Very difficult to answer as I'm not an expert. However, I have seen a wolf that you would call a wolf do very strange things. I've seen some sort of hybrid between man and wolf. I am cautious of all wolves, regardless, as I I know from the stories that they can transform between these different shapes and very strange creatures.
Mm-hmm. Because I do healing. I'm perplexed about the loss of your children, and I know it distresses you to speak of it. But if there was a way I could figure out what happened to your children, that maybe I might be able to help you prevent future problems with the children. And you said that there was problems with their stomachs, and that's why I asked about what you consume and if there might have been a connection between what the children may have eaten and their illness, that their deadly illness.
It's quite possible mine were not the only children who died.
Mm-hmm.
It is possible that there was some bad food going around. I don't know for a fact, though. This was a couple years ago.
Okay.
No, I will tell you this, that Ilya, go out and take care of shoveling. He goes outside. He says, the arrangement that I have with the abbot is unique. He assisted, as I alluded to, in protecting Ilya from death as well. We couldn't bear to lose another child.
Mm-hmm.
And Aunt Anna is like, please, Dmitri. And he's like, no, it's okay. Ilya was lost as well, but by the grace and the power of the abbot, we were able to bring him back. So I know that your quest to bring your friend back, as you mentioned, is not a fruitless quest. He has the power to do it.
He's requested of us diamonds in order to make that happen. Was this something that he asked of you as well?
No, but I had to make a deal with him.
Are you at liberty to tell us what that is?
Part of it is yet to be delivered upon, but part of it was to provide him with meat and wine. And now I am in jeopardy of not only being unable to provide him with meat, but our shipments from Wizard of Wines has been delayed by weeks now, and we are out of wine.
Yeah, what's going on over there?
I don't know.
You ever been there?
Never. But it is connected to my family. My family once, the Kreskov line once had ownership of the Wizard of Wines.
Oh.
Got it anymore?
No, now it is under the ownership of the Marketovs, who the two families sort of blended as through marriage, were combined, and now they manage the vineyard. They manage the vineyard, and
I'm sorry, the name again?
my name?
No, the owner.
Marketov.
Marketov, thank you.
Yep.
Any advice if we were to go over there and say, hey, can you get more wine coming over? Any advice to help that along?
I think any investigation of what's holding up the shipments would be beneficial to all of us.
Yeah, but do you have any advice on how to get that information, or anything you can offer to help us get your wine going again?
Well, I would talk to Adrian Marketov. He's the elder. He's the patriarch, and he should be able to answer your questions.
What should we ask him?
Where's the goddamn wine?
Where's the goddamn wine?
This is
Speaking of which, where's the goddamn wine?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I was actually going to go in there and grab the bottle. Well, yeah, we have this on our to-do list from Valakai to here to... Who else has asked us about the... Who else has asked us about the wine?
The weird old man in the lake.
More?
Please. I feel like we are missing something.
Yeah, I do too.
Thank you. Thank you.
You get the rest, man. Should have bought another bottle.
That's all right. We just need a little sample.
A little sample. All right. Well, maybe you can show us where we need to go, and maybe we could talk to the guys at the gate and find out if there is some kind of discernible difference between the look of the werewolf versus a regular wolf, and maybe that can maybe help us a little bit in our quest tonight. What do you think, Flinta?
Yep. I'm happy that this new sword fits in my sheath.
Excellent.
Okay. Thank you for looking into this. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for your trust
and
in
the
us.
people of this village will, if you're able to help us, will be very gracious.
Oh, you already have been.
Now, let me show you to the pens. And
All
he
right.
he bundles up and gets everything. He gives his wife a hug and a kiss. And then he heads out into the cold. And the snow has stopped now. The wind is whipping around and the snow is gusting side to side, and he walks you to the livestock pens. You can see that there's a young man working in the pens, cleaning things up. The fences look intact. He says, "This is where we keep all the sheep when they're not out grazing, and we put them in the pens every night."
And you're only losing them at night, not during the day.
That's correct.
Okay. How big is the pen?
It's big. It's probably like a quarter acre.
Why is it so big?
Well, we used to have a lot of sheep.
Yeah, but I think of a chicken coop, and that's small, and everybody stays together and stays warm, and this thing is huge.
Yeah, there's definitely on one side there's kind of like a little enclosure that they can go in and out of.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some protection from the elements, but it's sort of an open range pen,
Okay.
so they can move around.
So I notice you have an enclosure here. Can all of your existing animals fit inside of that enclosure?
Yes,
And how big is that enclosure?
I would say it's probably about 150 feet long and maybe like 30 feet wide, and it's kind of like a pole barn type of thing
Uh-huh.
with some really basic sort of windbreak walls.
Okay. Roof?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Like a little shed.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Can we see? What is it? It's still daytime, right?
Yeah, yep. It's just after noon. It's probably like 1 or 2 o'clock by now. He's like, "I'll leave you to it. Please, if you need anything, you can find me either at my house or out on the streets. I'll be around, but I'll be back at my house this evening."
Thank you, Dmitri.
And he hurries off to do whatever burgomaster business he has, reassuring people that everything's going to be okay. That's probably what he's spending most of his time on right now.
Okay. The sheep aren't in here, though.
There's a couple of sheep in there, and you can see that there's one guy that's sort of like shoveling shit and kind of throwing out some food for him.
I want to go over and talk to that guy.
All right. So you mosey on over,
Yep.
and he's...
Hiya there.
Oh, hey.
I'm Zach.
Zach.
Curious where all the sheep are going.
Sheep die.
Mm-hmm. Yours are dying awful quick, though, I hear.
Fast. Sheep disappear.
Is it werewolves? Regular wolves? Something else.
Luca not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure? They disappear like every other night. Where do they go?
Don't know. Sheep die. Luca fix fence.
You ever see them laying around? Any parts or pieces or fur or sign? Evidence?
Dead sheep.
You find dead sheep? What do they look like?
Blood. Sheep blood.
Ever leave parts and pieces behind?
Not enough. Sheep.
Huh.
He just keeps working.
always disappear at night from the enclosure here?
Nighttime, sheep disappear.
You ever stay overnight out here?
Sleep with sheep?
Yes.
No.
It seems logical to me. If they're all disappearing at night, and I wanted to make them stop disappearing, I'd stay out here and see where they're going.
I feed sheep. I shovel shit.
Anything you can tell us about where the sheep are going?
Sheep are dying. Just like Papa.
Your papa died?
He in the ground.
What happened?
That sheep there, Brownie. Favorite sheep. Brownie nice to Luca.
How old are you, Luca?
Don't know.
Did your papa die like one of the sheep? Just disappeared, ripped up?
Papa old.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wake up from sleep. Now Luca. By himself.
But your papa died naturally?
Don't know. In the ground now.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Luca.
Got Brownie.
Mm-hmm.
Good sheep.
Is there anything you can tell us to help protect Brownie?
Something eating sheep. Blood, bones. Carcasses strewn about. Some eaten. Some not. Footprints.
Yeah, what kind?
In the snow.
What kind of footprints?
Sheep. Human.
Human footprints?
Luca's footprints.
Anyone else besides Luca?
Other boots. Gotta fix the fence today.
God fix the fence?
I gotta fix the fence today.
Oh, you gotta fix the fence today.
Where? Show us.
He walks you over. Follow Luca.
All right,
And
we're
he
coming.
trudges over, and the snow kind of gets deep next to the fence line, and there's like a little bit of the fence is kind of blown over with the snow. Gotta get stones and patch her up.
It looks like you do good work, Luca.
Work hard. Luca good.
All right, we'll help you do this.
Help Luca?
Yeah, what needs to be done here? You need to move some of these rocks over and prop up the fence post? Is that what we're doing?
Put rock here.
Yeah, I'll grab like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, you guys make quick work of that,
Yes.
and just piling them back up and getting them kind of situated so they're not going to topple over again. Thank you.
Got any other spots?
Nope.
You got any of those ripped up sheep laying around? What do you do with them once you find them? I'd be interested to see some of those pieces.
Follow Luca.
Okay.
So he kind of walks you over to a side area where there's a fire burning, and he and a couple other people have been slowly just burning the bones of these mutilated sheep.
Yeah.
So there's a pile of ripped apart animal carcasses, and they're burning them.
You have people who are very hungry here. Why are you burning the carcasses instead of butchering them for food?
Tell Luca to dispose of bad sheep.
Who gave you that order?
Burgomaster.
Thank you, Luca.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, quit burning all this stuff. And I'm poking around and looking around in there. What can I learn from...
Roll
What kind
an
of sheep parts?
investigation check for me.
Yeah, I'd like to look too.
Go ahead.
I can't do... can I put any animal handling on it? So I got
no, that's more of like
more
working
like
with a
riding and
live
stuff
animal.
like
Yeah.
I got 11.
I've got 20. Not a natural.
Okay. Flinta, you can see that most of the it looks to you like the sheep are just torn apart like rags.
Mm-hmm.
And they're shredded, and there's really not much left to them.
Yeah.
A lot of the meat has been devoured. Selise, as you're looking, you can see that there are on the bones. As you look at some of the bones, you can see that there are these really jagged chips that are and some of the bones are snapped in half.
Okay.
But you can see these jagged like gouging of the bones leads you to believe that they're very sharp teeth.
Okay.
Like very teeth that are in like tight rows have been gnawing and crunching and cracking and breaking these bones apart.
And we just have Luca here, or are there other people around?
There's another guy that's helping him.
Okay.
And Flinta doesn't notice that.
Flinta didn't see that.
Hey, Flinta, come here.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
Whoa.
Look really closely at this bone. Do you
Those
see?
teeth?
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Are those from teeth?
It looks like it.
Luca need to work. Thanks for help.
Yeah,
Thank
all
you,
right.
Luca.
Thanks, Luca.
He heads back and disappears. Hey, strangers.
Hello. We were helping Luca fix a fence, and we're talking with the burgomaster earlier. He led us down here, asked us to see if we can help you with this sheep problem you guys got going.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, I hear you're losing sheep all the time.
It's been bad the last couple nights.
Uh-huh. How long has it been going on?
Less than a week.
Okay.
But they're disappearing quickly.
We ran into
People have started to
werewolf.
leave.
Yeah, I
You heard
believe
about Boris.
Yep.
it. Yeah.
He didn't make it very far, though.
Yeah, but he made it. I mean, at least back here.
You must be the strangers that brought him back and
Yeah.
slayed the werewolf.
We are.
Yeah, that's what you figure. That's what's taking your sheep down now. Is more werewolf.
Didn't see any wolf tracks myself.
Lucas said he found he saw boots, like as in human, but nobody seems to be able to see somebody coming and going.
That's the case. We've stayed up. A couple of us men have stayed up and waited to see if we could identify what it is.
That's my other question.
Would you be willing to stay up with us tonight?
Yeah?
All right.
You're gonna help us figure this out?
We're gonna give it our best shot. Can't make any promises, but we're gonna try.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, what the hell do you suppose made these marks on this bone here?
What marks? What do you mean? Let's see.
Look closely. You can see in this on this bone these gouges in this bone. It looks like teeth.
Yeah. You can
They
tell
all
that
have
he's
that?
not. He doesn't
Okay,
see
he's,
it, but
he's
like,
agreeing for agreeing's sake.
Yeah,
Okay.
teeth. Something's definitely tearing them apart. It ain't good.
Well, we noticed that you're burning these carcasses instead of trying to glean any kind of meat off of them. Is it?
Not much left to glean.
Okay. All right.
And I think there's some fear that there might be meat might be tainted.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I'll tell you what, if there's any salvageable meat, the boys and I have cut it off and taken it. We're not stupid.
All right. Well, maybe we'll meet you here at sunset, and we'll see what we can see. You and how many others do you think might be joining us tonight?
I can get a couple of boys to come down.
All right.
Okay, I'd like to take a walk around. Is it all right if I walk along the fence and investigate in the sheep structure here?
Yeah, sure. Do whatever you'd like.
All right.
You're here to help. Burgomaster vouches for you. It's good enough for me.
All right.
Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else you can tell us about our investigation? Anything else you've learned?
Well, whatever it is that's devouring the sheep, seems like it partially killing them to eat, partially killing them for sport. What could eat that many sheep?
What could eat that many sheep?
Unless there's more than one of whatever it is. I don't know.
You're a smart one. Hadn't thought of that.
Well,
You ever have problems with Any of your fellow townsfolk ever have they ever change into werewolves?
Yeah, sure. There's been a couple of people that have gone outside the fence line for whatever reason, haven't returned. That fella that you killed yesterday, didn't recognize him. Don't know where he came from.
Is there anybody who's been outside the gate and come back?
Oh yeah.
In the last week or two?
Oh no, we've been pretty tightly knit here since the winter hit. It's not good to go out. Not only are you dealing with fiends and creatures, but you've got the elements to deal with. It ain't pretty this time of year. Winter's certainly upon us. So no, but yeah, I mean, like the boys go out and we'll do some hunting outside the gates, but the majority of people don't like to go outside the gates. It's pretty unsafe.
All right.
I think I'd like to take a walk around in the sheep shed and look for evidence of stuff, and then maybe take a walk along the fence line for a while.
Yeah, let's walk the perimeter, shall we? And do some investigating.
The perimeter of Kresk? Or of
the fence line in the enclosure.
Okay.
Start with the enclosure and
sure.
Looking around for any evidence of entrance, exits, wolves getting in somehow.
Or anything getting in.
Yeah.
Looking at the walls, looking at the ceiling.
Okay. So roll investigation checks for me. So this is specific to the enclosure part of it?
The enclosure first.
Sure.
And that's investigation?
Yeah.
Alright, straight 17.
Nice.
Yeah. Looking well.
Yep. You can see that it's well stocked with bedding, and it looks like pretty comfortable accommodations for the sheep. It almost gives you a sense that these people really revere their sheep. Like they have a deep appreciation for these animals, even though that they are killing them to eat them. They sustain their ability to survive. So they treat them very well. You can tell that Luca and whoever else is helping him do a good job of keeping it clean.
And I forgot to ask.
You don't see any. You see human footprints in there. There's a little bit of snow that's kind of around the edges because it's not a closed off, 100% closed off walls.
The footprints that I do see seem to match up with Luca and the other worker, and it's
nothing that's very strange to you. Yeah.
Weird.
No. It looks like kind of boot prints and similar to what you'd expect to see.
And I don't see any evidence of digging under the fence or tunneling under or any.
No, and the fence itself is only
exits.
about probably about this high.
Waist high.
A little bit higher. Yeah, maybe a little bit higher than waist high. So it's not like a really tall fence.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a pen.
Huh.
And you essentially get the feeling
How are the
that
sheep that are in there? I go over and grab a hold of one.
Okay. Roll an animal handling check.
7.
All right, so you go up to them and they run off.
Mm-hmm. God damn it! Get over here. Fucking sheep.
But there's not many left.
No.
There's probably maybe like 3 sheep.
How many houses were in this burg?
This village has It's hard to judge because the forest, the trees are thick. It's almost like they're living inside of a forest. But within the immediate vicinity of where you are, you can see like 8 houses.
Okay.
And they're all very small little hovels. Like
I'm just
horses.
trying to do the math with 3 sheep versus how many houses
Families,
and how many months are left in winter, and I'm doing the math is what I'm doing here. All right. Well, I'll tell you what I need to do. If we're gonna be out here all night, we need to go inside, get warm, get something to eat.
Yep.
And I need to. I want to sit and think about maybe something that I can potentially do tonight to help. So I'm gonna go back. I don't know if you're gonna go back yet or not, but I'm gonna go back to Boris's and.
All right, I'm gonna take the long way and walk the perimeter and meet you back at Boris's.
Fair enough.
All right, so Flinta, you're gonna walk the perimeter of the
sheep fence.
Of the sheep fence?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're able to retrace your steps around the sheep fence, investigating it, and there's no other breaches that you notice or anything like that. And it's not, you don't really see many tracks of anything. The snow is kind of deep. It's like 8 to 10 inches deep.
And it's all fresh snow.
Yep.
All right, and there is a fence going around the city as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a big wall around the city. In fact, you went through gates to get inside, if you recall, when you had that battle out in front of the gates. They're about 20 feet tall, the walls are. It's pretty fortified.
I'm looking around and wondering if I can see that wall from where I am and how long it would take to walk the inside perimeter of that wall.
Let's see. It might take you, I don't know, 2 hours maybe to walk the perimeter. You can barely see the wall from where you are. You're close to the northwestern edge.
Okay. I want to go over and talk to what's his name? Luca one more time.
Okay. He's doing the same thing he was doing earlier, cleaning and shoveling shit.
Hey Luca, you ever shear these sheep? You ever use the wool?
Yeah, make sweaters.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anything weird about the sheep? They seem healthy. I tried to grab one and it ran away from me like it's a healthy enough sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Ones that are around, they're fine and no problems with them.
No, sheep healthy.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna come back and probably spend the night here. Did we talk to him about that, or is that just his buddy helper that was gonna come back at sundown? I think that was his buddy, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're gonna meet your partner over here about sundown. You can come over too. I think we're gonna stay here tonight and see if we can see anything going on.
Okay.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And have you seen anything weird coming or going from the gates? I'm thinking I want to walk the inside perimeter of the gate, looking to see if there's anything from outside that's burrowing under or making its way through. You seen anything? You have any ideas of where I should start looking?
Luca don't know.
All right. All right. Thanks, Luca. If there's nothing else you can think of, I'll see you at sundown.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So what do you want to do then?
I
Next?
want to... I'm looking around for the nearest part of the... inside of the wall.
Okay.
And I want to go over to there and stroll around looking for anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, so you head north because that's where the closest section of the wall is, and you're walking away from the location of where Smitty's house is, the hovel or Boris's hovel that Smitty bought, and there's a small little pond on the north end of Kresk, a pool, shimmering and sparkling, a little bit of snow kind of on top of it, but not frozen yet. And there's a little like wooden gazebo that's sort of a little dilapidated, and under the gazebo there's a wooden statue of a bare-chested man, and his arms are outstretched as if he's like trying to embrace. And then the wall is just
Fighting
beyond.
stance or a,
No, very welcoming.
Okay.
Like almost as if he's giving a hug.
Giving what a hug?
He's just kind of standing.
Oh,
like
okay,
this.
like welcome friends.
Like welcome. Yeah,
okay,
very welcoming.
All right.
So, Selise, what are you head back to the hovel?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been a while since I've been, using my summoning powers, and I'm still getting my feet under me again.
Okay,
For
yeah.
all of my abilities that I haven't tapped for a long time. And so I want to go back and check on Smitty, and also just sort of think about what I might be able to do to be assistive tonight.
Okay.
Because if there's no tracks coming in, there's no obvious source of what's happening, that to me says there's some magic afoot, and I'm trying to figure out how I can potentially protect or defend, or so I'm sitting by the fire and giving it some serious thought.
Okay.
That's what I'm.
So you enter the house, and Boris is like, shh. He points over, and Smitty is out cold.
Good.
As you come in.
That gave me. I'm okay. Relief that.
Yeah.
That particular ability of mine is seeming to help.
And you're able to warm yourself up. It's pretty cold. I don't know what kind of. Do you have warm weather gear? What kind of clothing do the two of you have?
I've got a cloak. I've got explorer pack, but that's more for sleeping and food. But I've got my armor, my shield, which I use a lot for windbreak in this windy stuff. Mm-hmm. Cloak. I'm making the assumption that I have gloves, although there's nothing specifically spelled out that I have gloves. Because it would seem that somebody who is has a long bow and weaponry and a mace would have some sort of hand protection for that. Just naturally. I don't know that they would be necessarily warm, but protection from wind and the strings and the that sort of thing.
But you don't have anything on your inventory that particularly says like warm weather.
I do not have anything.
Fur-lined
No, I
jacket
do not.
or...
I do
what
not.
What about you, Flinta?
I got the meat shield.
What's the meat shield again?
Just being a barbarian dwarf.
Oh.
But other than that,
you're
no.
pretty hardy, but yeah.
Scale mail. That's what I've got.
So I would say that
And
you're feeling the temperature.
Yeah, my
It's
vestments
cold.
and my set of common clothes. So yeah, there's nothing that's
So you're cold enough to where you want to belly up to the fire when you get back in, and you're probably
And that
getting a
occurred to me
little cold too.
And Boris is still there?
Boris is there. He's watching over.
Boris, would it be possible for me to do you have a woolen hat or scarf or something that I could bundle up with as we keep watch tonight? Again, I would be happy to clean and return it to you when I'm finished.
Yes, I can loan you my clothing, but that's all I have.
I will absolutely. I will make sure it gets back to you.
He digs into that
trunk,
and he pulls out a woolen hat and a fur-lined cloak that looks homemade. It's not of high quality, but it looks really warm.
This is very generous of you. Thank you very much.
He lays that out for you.
And then while I'm strolling around, I'm going to look for a shop that is using some of the wool, and looking for the cloak shop.
Okay. All right. You walk along the perimeter for a while and roll an investigation check for me.
Shopping check.
Well, this is for your looking along the fence line.
Okay.
What is it? A 7?
7.
Yeah, you don't detect anything that raises your spidey sense. There's nothing that jumps out at you as a breach in the fence line. It looks extremely sturdy.
No.
Yeah. It's a well built. It looks like it's pretty old. It looks like it's been there for a long time, but it looks very intact.
I'm also looking for cloak shop.
Yeah, and as you make your way back towards the hovel, the big thing you notice is that there are no shops at all of any kind. There's no square. There's no tavern. There's no inn.
There's no tavern.
There's nothing.
Wow.
Except for gardens and small, modest homes and a lot of trees. And that little pool that you saw earlier. And so you eventually make your way back to the Boris's.
Then I'll go back to Boris's
house.
Hi, Boris. It's cold out.
Yes, warm up. Get in here, and he has some tea ready when you get there. So, what'd you find out? Did you find out anything interesting?
Went over and met Luca in the barn and talked about sheep. Made a trip around the perimeter. Think we're gonna go and hang out there this evening.
Yeah, we a couple of the men from that are down there right now, burning the carcasses. They're gonna come and help keep watch tonight with us, since there's just two of us. And I don't think as long as Smitty is able to sleep, I think we should let him sleep. I think that's best for him. He's gone for quite a while without a good solid rest.
Very good.
So yeah, they're going to help us, and Flinta, I think maybe one of the things that we should do is when the sheep come back from grazing, as they come in for the evening, we should get them into the shed and keep them in the shed, all of them. That's going to be a more controlled space for us to be able to, I don't know, if we could, I think we can better keep an eye on the flock than if they are all over that huge paddock loose. And whatever it is that's
And that's the 150 feet by 30 feet?
Yeah. Rather than trying to keep track of all of them over a quarter of an acre, I think it's going to be safer for us and for keeping an eye on the sheep.
Yeah, but then there's liable to be nothing happening.
Well,
if we let a couple of them out in that 150 by 30, or let them do what they normally do, we might see something more.
Oh, like use them for bait.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, you have a good point there. Well, so that's maybe going to be our plan then. Get all of them but a couple inside, keep them inside, and then let a couple of them out.
Yeah.
And then have a couple people keep an eye on the ones out in the paddock, and a couple of them keep an eye on the ones inside.
Yeah. As we were investigating, did we see logical spots to post from? We see any? If we were hunting deer, there'd be deer stands. But any spots to surveil?
Just from your memory, you don't recall any like stands or blinds or anything. But
the shed, does it? How many entrances and does it have? How many openings to get in?
It's kind of open on one side.
Okay.
For like almost like a double garage door size opening.
All right.
So the animals can get in and out, and then they can close it also. If they need to.
All right.
Yeah.
But there isn't like a human-sized door anywhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, it sounds like we have ourselves a plan.
Yeah, we just got to find some spots to sit, and I don't know if we'll keep those other guys around all night.
Well,
quieter if it were just the two of us.
Well, if somebody from...
As you're talking, there's a knock on the door, and Boris gets up and goes to the door. Oh, pardon me for a minute, and he goes outside and closes the door.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually speaks to what I was going to suggest. And it's probably better that he's not here. That if we have these couple of guys helping us, maybe one should be with you and one could be with me, so that we can keep an eye on them too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm curious who's here for Boris.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of go over by the door and...
You can hear muffled voices.
Is there a window?
It's closed. It's frosted and closed.
All right. Yeah, I can do clairvoyance, but I don't want to waste that spell. That's one of my upper level spells. I only have 2 spell slots for that. I wish I knew what they were saying.
So just as you're waiting, the door opens again. The winter blows in for a brief second as Boris kind of closes the door, and you can tell that the weather's changing a little bit. He comes back in. He's like,
I work to get a look at who he was talking to.
there were actually 3 people that were outside, 2 women and 1 man, and they walk away. They pull their cloaks tight and hurry off. And Boris is like, sounds like there's a bit of a confrontation taking place over at the livestock pen.
Oh, let's go. What's going on?
It's best we hurry. I'll tell you on the way.
Let's go.
Should we wake up Smitty?
No. Let him sleep.
Should we take his pulse and make sure he's okay?
I don't think we have time for that. Let's go.
Figure he's breathing. We've been in the cabin for a while. Smitty's not dead, right?
Do you want to take a look at him real quick?
Yeah, I want to take a look at him.
Roll a medicine check.
Oh, for God's sakes, man. Let's go.
Well, I was thinking about that as I was walking around, that, man, I should stop by and visit Smitty. 4.
4?
4.
You kind of look down on him and he's not breathing.
Oh, shit. Smitty, wake
All right.
up. We're going out to visit the pen.
Hold on a second. You don't know what you're doing. Either do I. I've got a 9.
You can see, you look closely and you can tell that his chest is rising and falling, and you even hear a couple snores.
He's fine.
Every once in a while.
He's fine. Let's go.
All right.
So out the door you go, and Boris is leading the way and back towards the pen. And as you approach, the wind is howling and the light is dimming in the sky above you. It's becoming darker and darker in the evening, and there is a bit of a scuffle taking place in front of the pens next to a small little shack, like a living hut. And there are, what you can tell is there's 6 villagers that are sort of surrounding Luca. And they're saying, "It's your fault, Luca! It's your fault that the sheep are dying." And they're yelling at him, and he's like, "Not Luca, no, sheep." And you can tell he doesn't know what to say, and the people are sort of like, they're kind of accusing him, you can tell.
Hey, what's going on here?
The sheep are Luca's task to take care of, and they're dying.
Yeah, we were just over to visit, and I figured Luca was doing a pretty good job. Did more die?
Every night more are dying. Luca's the one watching the sheep. The sheep are dying. People are starting to gather a little bit around this. Obviously, the word is getting out. The townsfolk are getting angry. Mm-hmm. Someone needs to pay for this.
Hey, wait. I know we're strangers here, but I think I might be able to find something out, or be able to tell if he or somebody else is telling some truth. I'm going to cast a zone of truth on everybody's sort of within a 15-foot radius here.
Okay.
Yes? No? Yes? They are? I'm trying to kind of get...
Yeah, they're in there's a bunch of people that are coming that aren't in that radius. But
right.
Luca is there, and there's a couple people standing
But the angry
around.
mob and Luca, I'm going to lay a zone of truth on that.
Okay.
On that bunch.
Okay.
To find out if we can find out some things.
All right.
Right?
Explain Zone of Truth.
So, create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere, centered on a point of your choice within range. So, I'm basically, my point of choice is right in the center of the circle, so that I can encompass as many people as possible. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw.
So that implies that if they're trying to lie,
I can find out.
And they fail, you get to find out.
Right. Affected creature is aware of the spell, and thus can avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in the answers as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth.
So you cast this spell, and in this 15-foot radius, there's like this glimmer of emerald energy that does this line that emanates from you outwards around this around Luca as the center point, and it's just kind of glowing light, and the people are, Luca's fault. It's Luca's fault, and people are shouting and.
Do they see this light?
Yeah, they can see. Everybody can see
okay.
it. Yep. And they're a little unsure what it is, but the tensions are really heated right now.
Okay, everybody take a breath. Let me ask Luca a question.
And you're having a hard time cutting through the chaos right now.
I'm going to use. Then I'll use some thaumaturgy and raise my voice.
Okay.
Silence.
Roll a, I guess, intimidation check with advantage.
I think it's 16. Let me look. Yeah, 16.
Okay. Everybody kind of stops and looks at you.
Thank you, Luca.
Yeah.
Did you hurt the sheep?
Luca loved the sheep.
Did you hurt the sheep? Yes or no?
No.
Do you know who hurt the sheep?
No.
Do you know what hurt the sheep?
No.
Have you seen anything hurt the sheep?
No. He's lying. What good is this?
This.
What does this prove?
This proves everything. I'm well, not everything, but it proves a lot. I'm able to find out if somebody is telling the truth. So you, sir.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh yeah.
Interrogate somebody's
18.
truth-telling crowd.
18.
Okay, he kind of stops his aggressiveness, and about the same time, Dimitri and Anna show up, the burgomaster and his wife, and he says, "What is the meaning of all this?"
Have they stepped into the circle?
Yeah, they've walked up. Yeah, they're in the
Okay.
circle.
Burgomaster, this crowd was badgering Luca and accusing him of something that I don't believe that he did. I've asked him within my circle, and he seems to be telling the truth.
Vasily, what is the meaning of this? He looks at the man that was kind of the ringleader, and Vasily says, "People are scared, and we're angry, and Luca's supposed to keep track of the sheep, and the sheep keep dying."
Sir, if magic is afoot, Luca may not be able to comprehend what's happening. Nobody else seems to know what's going on either. Do you know what's happening to the sheep?
No, of course not.
How many other people are in the group?
Well, now there's a bunch of people that have arrived. So there's
Okay.
probably 15 people there.
And do they get to be charmed too?
Some
If
of them are inside, some of them aren't.
If they're inside the circle,
Yeah.
then yes.
Yeah. People who are arriving are not going into the
Right.
circle. They can see it and they're like, but they don't know what
Yeah, they
that
don't want
is.
they don't want to get any
Yeah.
part of that. Is there anything? Is there anyone in this circle who has knowledge of what is killing these sheep?
People are kind of looking around at each other and, of course not. Otherwise we would have taken care of it.
Well, there are two possibilities here. There is either the possibility that it is somebody from within your village who is doing this, because there seems to be no breach in the walls or the fences, or there is some magic afoot, and we all know how possible that is in this land.
The burgomaster steps forward and says, "Please listen to these people. They're here to help us."
We plan on staying here tonight. There were a couple of gentlemen who offered to stay out with us tonight and watch and find out what's happening, and we'll see what we can find out.
Just as you say that, you hear this blood-curdling scream from about a block away from where you're standing.
Yep.
And everybody kind of turns and starts moving in that direction. Do you follow?
Yeah.
I don't.
You want to go and check on Smitty?
I'm gonna stay here for just a couple minutes. Yell if you need me.
Okay.
All right, so Flinta, you take off with the crowd, and Selise, you stay. Luca is kind of sitting there. He's kind of not like crying, but he's definitely like shooken up.
And
he's had a bad.
I'm putting my arm around him and telling him it's okay.
You get the sense that he's sort of like a simpleton.
Yeah,
in a
I mean,
way.
I've gathered that.
Yeah, he doesn't really understand what's going on.
Right, and I'm trying
like
I'm just trying to comfort him a little bit and keep my eyes peeled because I know that the sound could be a decoy.
Okay, so Flinta, you're running in this group, and as you turn the corner, you kind of stop dead in your tracks, and you see this creature in the middle of the street. It's like this emaciated, bony, lanky, pale-skinned creature covered in blood. It's got this woman in its hands, and it just tears her in half.
Oh, hello!
And devours and starts eating her. And as everybody kind of in the snow, like skids to a stop, it turns and looks at you. Mm-hmm. And people start like backpedaling really fast.
Yep, Selise, you probably better come up here.
I'm coming.
So as you get there, Selise, people are backing up and kind of bumping into you as you're kind of working your way through the crowd, and this thing just roars at you. And as it does so, its mouth opens, and you can just see these rows and rows of sharp, jagged teeth.
Yeah,
and
bone cruncher.
It makes you remember of what you saw on the bones of the sheep.
Can I cast?
Roll initiative.
19.
Okay. Flinta, you roll initiative too, please.
I'm 10.
Okay.
Oh, 13. So I add initiative to that, right?
Okay. Yes. And you said your initiative was what?
My initiative is 0, but my roll was 19.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
What did you do? Ripped a lady in half?
Yep. Tore her in half and stuffed half her body in its mouth.
I'm trying to remember if I'd heard of any people being killed. I thought it was just sheep.
First off, make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Who?
Both of you.
And I have 1 level of exhaustion. Is that
exhaustion is gonna give you some problems, maybe.
1,
Nope. It gives you disadvantage on ability checks.
ability checks.
Not on a saving throw. So
I probably should have done
save.
that when I tried to grab the sheep.
I've got 21.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw. It's going to be D20 plus wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Wisdom saving throw. Not just wisdom. There's a saving throw box over there. No. Those are your saving throws.
Got it. 12.
Okay. Great. So the first thing that happens is this creature closes the distance between the two of you and attacks Flinta with a scratch attack.
How come you get to go first?
Rolled a higher initiative than you did.
Crap.
I do have what the heck is it called? Danger sense.
That doesn't help you. It swipes at you with these really grotesque, bloody, and just covered with flesh, these claws.
Oh, I don't want any part of that.
For a roll of 12 to hit.
No.
So it misses.
Yes.
Okay, and it does a second one. Ooh. 23.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. That does 6 points of slashing damage.
Being that I rested, I get my hit points back.
Yeah, you'd
again,
be
right?
at max hit points right now.
What'd you say, 6?
Yep.
Dirty bastard.
I know.
I'm not even raging yet.
Okay, and that is Selise. You're next.
I'm gonna do Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
Calling forth spirits to protect you. Flit around me to a distance of 15 feet for the duration. I don't know how close I am to Flint. I should have asked that question first.
You're probably standing next to each other.
Yeah. If you're good or neutral, their spectral form appears angelic or fey. I'm going to choose angelic. Makes sense. If you are evil, they appear fiendish. When you cast a spell, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. So Flinta is unaffected. All of the townsfolk are unaffected.
Okay.
An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on the turn, or starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage. And on a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage.
Okay. Very cool.
So I'm going to do a Spirit Guardian.
Okay. And the effects of that are at the beginning of the creature's turn, correct? Not when you cast it. I mean, the Spirit Guardians appear when you cast it, but the damage doesn't take place until the creature's turn, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Got it.
And do I get a second action? Do I get a bonus action? I don't think so.
Well, you always have you have the ability to have a bonus action if you have bonus action capabilities. I don't know if you do. I know you can cast. Well, no, you can't cast two spells in the same turn.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, because I was gonna.
One of them could be a cantrip.
Yeah.
You can't cast two leveled spells in the same turn.
Right. Then I think what I'm gonna do is
Let's do this. Let's get out this guy.
a sacred.
Just for that.
I think a sacred flame might be in order here, so I'm gonna.
What the heck kind of creature was it? It wasn't human.
No.
It had teeth all over the place. Crap.
All right, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna do a sacred flame because that's a cantrip. So I'm gonna.
Can you do that as a bonus action?
So here's Flinta. Here's creature. Anna, where are you?
Selise, where am
Or
I?
Selise, sorry.
Well, I had come up behind Flinta, so I'm thinking I'm sort of somewhere either here, something. Because I came from the same direction.
Sure, just put yourself wherever you want
So
to
I
be.
would be, probably something like that, something.
Okay, so now the Spirit Guardians. Cool. That's a great spell.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really good
I
one.
can just never.
It is a concentration spell, so forget about that. Here, put this on your character.
Woohoo!
What does this say?
Concentrating,
Oh.
just so you know, so we remember.
That's awesome. Spell casting focus. Holy symbol, ritual ability. Okay.
Are you familiar with what it means to have a spell be concentration based?
Yeah. I can't not concentrate. I mean,
Well, when you get hit by when you take damage, you have to roll a Constitution save to maintain your spell, and you can't do another concentration spell.
Okay. That I didn't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to just, because don't know. I don't want to hold up the
Okay,
game.
Flinta, you're up.
Alright.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Cantrips. Spell that can be cast at will without using a spell slot without being prepared in advance. Spell level 0. Non-prepared spells. Spell slots. Yeah, I think it just it has to be spell cast with a bonus action. Yeah, unless it says bonus action, I can't do another.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, Flinta, what's your... What are you gonna do?
You said that this thing doesn't look like a human. Does it? Look
No,
like
it's
a magical
it's
creature?
a
Is it,
terrible looking creature. It's long. It's got these long, gangly arms and these claws, and it's covered in blood. Its mouth is like this gaping maw of teeth. You just see teeth and two big, black, beady eyeballs.
Fucking name. Rage, frenzy.
Here you go.
Excellent.
What does that say?
Raging.
Raging.
Somebody got new toys.
I'm gonna grab the silvered longsword
Okay.
and start going to town on this thing.
Okay.
Here's my attack, which is 16 plus strength is 20.
That's gonna hit.
And then
And this
roll
is with
for
the silver
damage.
longsword?
Yep, silver longsword. That's an 8. And that's really...
That's a D10.
That's 10. That's 12.
There it is.
So we got 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 2 for the rage is 12. With
Okay.
silvered.
Great. All right, so you step up into it and just slash across its chest, and it just tears into its flesh.
And then, being that I'm on frenzy, I get a bonus attack, so I'm gonna whack at it again.
Yep.
17 plus 4 is 21.
That also hits.
And 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 2 is 11.
11, nice.
It takes some serious damage as you slice into it again. Or do I?
And then anything else I want to do?
Or do I?
Smitty, get your ass out here! I don't know how far away we are from Smitty, but this would be a good time to have him just show up.
As you cut into it with your sword attacks, there's two villagers from the side that have short bows, and they release 2 arrows. The first one hits, second one misses, takes damage. An arrow sticks right into its chest, and it turns and looks at them. And as it does, it shoots this wretched blob of green spittle across the street and splashes on these 2 guys, and they're basically disintegrated.
Okay.
They disappear essentially. Let me roll damage here, but they're not gonna be able to withstand this.
Shoot, I need more dice.
Oh crap! What am I gonna do?
And this is just its reaction.
Yeah, that's not even
It's not even its turn yet.
Yes.
Oh shoot. Well, I didn't roll great. 8, 9, 10, 11. They both die instantly, even though I didn't even roll good. So those 2 guys are gone. So now it is the creature's turn.
I still got, still got movement possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Is those villagers shot? Is there any way I can't really flank on it at all?
You can move.
Yeah, I can move. I'm thinking about backpedaling. Backing up would still give it an attack of opportunity, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know.
Don't know. But it'd be nice to have a little bit of space.
But for just so you know, that for you to engage it in combat, you'd have to be still within 5 feet of it. You know, unless you're gonna use a ranged attack, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that you can see the angelic beings circling around too. So just be aware of that.
All right, I'll stay put there.
Okay. So
As long as there's nowhere that I can tactically move to.
you could move around it, as long as you stay within combat range of it, you're not going to take an attack of opportunity. If you leave the combat range, that's when when they have the option to do that.
All right. Well, then maybe I will go 1, 2, 3.
So about
hang out on that
20
side.
feet of movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 3 is 15.
Leaving me right there. But he turned, right? He turned this away, didn't he?
Yeah,
so.
he blobbed over this way.
All right.
And so now it comes down to its turn. Now at the beginning of a turn, it has to do a wisdom saving throw. Is that correct?
For Spirit
For
Guardians,
Spirit Guardians?
I believe so. Let me just double check that is what you do. Spirit Guardians. Affected creatures. When the creature enters the area for the first time, must make a wisdom saving throw. Yes.
Okay. That is going to be 22.
And I don't know where.
It's
Yeah,
against
what
your
you have.
spell save DC,
Oh.
which is on your character
Oh,
sheet,
yeah.
which I'm
Yeah,
sure is lower than 22.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It's
probably-
13.
Okay. So it saves.
All right. So
That means it's not
on a
affected.
successful save, the
No, I
creature
think it takes half damage. I
it takes
believe.
half damage.
Yep, so you need to roll damage.
Yeah. My damage is a. Uh, 1d8. That's not it. This is it. 1.5. That's my 1d8, right?
I don't know.
I use my damage my hit dice.
Is it? Is that what it says?
It doesn't say.
It should.
It just says.
It'll tell you what damage.
It says. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage. Oh, so 3d8
Okay.
times. So I've got 3, 4, 3,
7.
7,
7 halved that, so
Yeah.
3.
3.
Okay. So the angelic guardians just slice into it with their weapons. I'm assuming they have swords or something.
I'm gonna say they're angels. They I think they probably have something like this, from the palm of their
Top
hand.
to the hand type of thing.
Well, from like some shooting
radiant energy.
energy
Yeah.
out of their hands.
I'm shooting it with rainbows.
So it's radiant damage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So that's the beginning of its turn. Now it is going to. It's going to take an attack at you, Selise, with its claws. Its scratch attack.
No.
It's going to be a 19 to hit.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
It's going to be 7 slashing damage.
Ouch. I'm sorry. What was the? I'm sorry.
7 slashing damage.
I'm sorry. You said 19? You had 19?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. 7.
Okay. And then with its other attack, it's going to go after you, Flinta, because you're moving around its side. And that is going to be a 13 to hit.
Nope.
And it misses you as you sneak out of the way.
Right.
Okay, Selise, that brings us to you.
All right. You pissed me off now. I'm gonna hit you with my spiritual weapon. That seems to be the tool that keeps on giving.
It is a good one. So you use a
Yes.
bonus action to summon it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think you get to attack when it's summoned, if I
Yep.
remember correctly.
Yep. Spiritual weapon. Yes, I keep using
Something
that one.
with
I should
flames?
know it's
Flaming sword.
So yeah, creating
remember
a
what her spiritual
spectral weapon, and the mace seems to be my,
Okay.
because that just seems like it makes sense.
Okay.
When you cast the spell, you can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. On a hit,
Why don't you use this as your mace, because you can put it where you want it to be.
Okay, I'm just gonna like kind of right over this dude's head.
Well, it'll have to be like next to him.
Well, all right. I like it lurking above their head, but I'm all right. It's next to him. All right, so yeah. All right, so on a hit, target takes force damage equal to 1d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. So
Your spellcasting modifier is wisdom, I believe.
yeah,
So
it is.
plus your wisdom.
Yep. 13.
13 to hit.
Yeah.
That misses.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Yep. It just kind of sees this thing apparate in front of it and just sort of dodges out of the way as it swings down at it. So that's your bonus action.
My bonus action, I can move the weapon up to 20 feet.
Well, you already used your bonus action.
Oh, okay.
To summon the weapon.
Oh, yeah, but it's there
So now you have your action.
But there it is. My action is to I'm going to do a cantrip and hit him with a sacred flame.
Okay.
And the sacred flame is, because I haven't used this one before and it looks fun. Flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. Target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage. Target gains no benefit from cover for this saving throw, and it actually increases. 5th level would be 2d8. So 2d8 damage if it hits.
Okay.
All right. 18.
That hits.
Yep.
Right.
So my damage. What I just said it.
2d8.
2d8. Thank you.
You could write it next to the spell maybe too on your sheet.
Yeah, probably should. That would make sense. 4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you fire off this bolt of sacred flame energy and just smashes into the creature and kind of burns across its exterior.
Take that, you son of a bitch.
Anything else you want to do, Selise?
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think there's anything else that I can do.
Okay.
At this
Flinta.
I'm going at it again.
Okay.
Still got silver longsword.
Okay.
Borrowed silver sword. Oh, we get nat 20.
Woo!
24.
Oh, yes.
Very nice.
And a 1.
Aww.
Plus 4 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. 7 damage.
Yep. So you double the die because that's a critical hit. Natural 20.
Yep.
Oh my.
Yep.
Yep.
So double the damage, so that would be...
Or actually, no, you roll it twice.
Okay,
So it's
got
1 plus 3, so 4, and then
4.
add your modifier.
Plus 4, 10.
Okay, 10 damage. And what kind of damage is it?
Slashing.
And that's from a silvered weapon?
Yep, silvered weapon.
10 damage. Okay. It takes the hit and kind of flinches as you strike into it. Looks like it's getting beat up a little bit.
Good.
As you do that, it leaps away from you. And let's do this. There's a group of bystanders over here.
Oh no, bystanders! No.
It leaps 30 feet across. So you just see this thing just jump away from you.
Wait a minute.
And it lands right there.
I don't know if it can, because of the spiritual guardians. The spiritual. I don't know if he can leave.
Well, his movement is reduced to half.
Yes.
So
It could
he can
go
still
60?
move half. Well, it moved 15 feet. It could go 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said went 30. Got it.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said too.
Um,
Yeah, all right.
And lands right there. Outside the reach of your guardians. Okay. Flinta, did you take your second attack?
No, not yet. What does versatile mean? Longsword
Means you
and
can use it
properties.
two-handed or one-handed.
So two-handed would be the 1d10.
Mm-hmm.
One-handed would be 1d8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I didn't know that. We're gonna go two-handed next time.
Well, it's still your turn.
Yeah.
But
I'm
you
gonna...
can't hit it with the sword from there.
No, I
You'd
gotta
have to
chase it.
move.
And I can go diagonal, right?
You have to kind of go over,
1,
over
2,
down.
3.
Yeah. So 5, 10, 15. And you'd have to go one more. There you go.
And I'm gonna attack it while it's looks like it's moving away.
Okay.
18 plus 4 is
That definitely hits.
22. And then I'm gonna use that thing two-handed, so
Okay.
I'm going after a 10.
Yep, that's it. Ooh, nice. That's 10.
That's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Plus 4 is 14. Plus 2 is 16.
Wow, very nice.
So whack.
How much did you say? 16?
16.
Okay. I just had a brain fart on that.
And that's 16 silvered.
Okay. All right, so you did your 2 attacks, and you're okay. And that brings us to.
If movement includes spitting, I would hack a loogie on it.
You could do a free action to spit on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll allow it. Okay, so the creature, you slash across the back of it, and it turns.
Yeah, they're not gonna like that.
Turns towards you. And it reaches forward to you and grabs you and tries to take a bite out of you.
No! No!
Ooh, 21 to hit.
Yep, 21 hits.
No,
Okay.
buddy.
Ooh, 8 piercing damage.
And I'm raging,
Plus,
so...
yeah, so you take half of that when you're raging?
Yep.
Okay. But you also take 16 necrotic damage. So it pierces into your skin, and you feel the pain, but you can resist it because you're raging. But the necrotic energy from its bite just kind of emanates from the bite wound, and you can just see your skin start to turn black.
Ow!
And that's full damage because you don't have resistance to necrotic damage.
I do have resistance to something. Poison. Is that poison?
Nope.
Nope.
And as that happens, roll perception real quick, both of you.
It's alright, so I get half of 8, so 4, and then 16, so I got 20 damage?
Mm-hmm.
15.
One more time.
Roll a perception check real quick. Just, I want to see if you notice.
17.
Okay. Yeah, so both of you see that as that necrotic energy kind of innervates into your skin and your flesh, you see that some of the wounds on this creature start to heal themselves.
Oh! No likey, this guy.
And then it turns around and it takes a swipe at this bystander who's just standing there with a sword, trembling. And that would be a hit. It takes a swipe at this person, and this person is dead. Just drops.
Yeah. We should consider getting out of here.
And that leads us to Selise.
Shit. Oh, crap. I really don't know what to do here. I think I am going to... I know I should be faster than this. I am mystified. I think I'm debating.
Well, you've got a spiritual weapon hovering.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. Yeah,
you can
but
use your bonus action to move the spiritual weapon.
Yeah. I know that, and I think that's what I'm gonna do.
And then you can attack.
And
with
I'm
it.
gonna attack him. Yeah, I guess that's what I need to do here. Oh shit! This is not gonna hit. Yeah, that's. I'm not even gonna bother with that number. That's just no good, Ski.
So you moved it, and then you attacked with it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to do? You still have your movement.
Yeah, I still have my movement. God, I wish I could do another spell. Can I do? No, I can't do another spell.
You can, as long as it's not a concentrate. Well, no, because you just used your attack. You used your.
I know.
Yeah. So all you have right now is movement.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to.
Shit. Where's Smitty?
Smitty. Yeah, good plan.
I'm backing off here. How many feet can I go with my cleric here? I think I can go 30. Yeah. 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm backing off because I'm thinking I'm gonna maybe take an arrow.
Oh.
I'm gonna shoot an arrow at some point.
Got it.
I want to be far. I'm trying to get out of spitting range, but I don't. I'm not terribly confident because I saw the guy jump, so I'm a little worried about that. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flinta.
I'm gonna throw a net on it.
Okay.
Wow. Right.
You love that net.
Yeah. It's 148, page 148.
Okay.
A large or smaller creature hit with a net is restrained until it is freed. A net has no effect on creatures that are formless or creatures that are huge or larger. Creature can use its action to make a DC 10 strength check, freeing itself or another creature within its reach on a success.
All right.
When you use this action, bonus action, or reaction to attack with the net, you can make only one attack, regardless of the number of attacks you can normally make.
Okay, so you're gonna throw the net on it.
I'm gonna throw the net on. Yep.
You throw the net on it, and that's your action and your frenzy bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You need to make an attack roll to hit, and just add your dexterity modifier to this roll.
16.
Yeah, it hits it. So you get the net lands on it, and it gets kind of grappled up in the net.
And then I'm gonna backpedal.
Okay, which way are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go back here by
Selise.
Okay, so as
Actually,
you
right here.
you move out of the way,
Yep.
the thing has a net on it right now, and these 3 villagers are now in melee range with bows. So number 12 misses. Number 7, natural 20. The short bow. How much is short bow damage? Is it 1d4?
Short bow 1d6.
Oh, 1d6. Okay.
Piercing.
And he rolled. I have to roll 2 of them because it's natural 20. Ooh, 8 points of damage.
Alright.
And then number 1 there fires an arrow and misses. Number 9 goes in with a sword attack and misses. And this guy walks in. This is your spiritual weapon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy walks in with the sword as well and misses. Wow, they suck. Which brings us back to the creature. And because the creature is currently dealing with the net, it needs to use its turn, use its action to free itself.
Yeah, I should have stayed up there too because I've got something here. I think that might.
So it just tears the net open.
No.
Just rips it apart. And
That's a good net.
That's its turn.
I should have stayed up
What
there.
a great net what that was. Yep, that's its turn. It's its action. So I guess it gets one other action. So it's gonna attack number 9 here.
Oh, number 9.
That's gonna hit with a scratch, doing a bunch of damage. But this individual is still up, but it takes a really good scratch across the face, and his face is bleeding. The villager. That brings us to Selise.
I want to do an inflict wounds because I'm noticing the necromancy that's happening here. So, but I got to be within reach of the dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of gearing myself to go on up there.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to inflict wounds.
Okay.
Inflict wounds. Make a melee spell attack against a creature you can reach. On a hit, the target takes 4d10 necrotic damage. If it hits.
Give me 1 second.
I hope it hits.
This takes 3d10 necrotic damage plus 1. Actually, more than that. The damage increases by 1d10 for each slot's level above first.
So what level are you going to cast it
I'm
at?
going to cast it at 2. So yeah, 4d10.
Inflict wounds is awesome. Okay, so make a spell attack roll.
Buddy. Son of a bitch. Shit. Yeah, that's no good ski. Son of a bitch. 8.
That misses.
That's a big fat miss.
So you reach out and it kind of ducks out of the way
Damn
as it
it.
sees you coming.
Damn you. You know I'm after you with something good.
You do have your bonus action still. And
And
you do have a spiritual weapon.
I have that
active.
spiritual weapon hanging right there, so I'm going to take a swipe
Yeah.
with my magical mace.
As you should.
My magical mace. That's still not too good. That's probably not going to make anything. 12?
That misses as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Creature is just like and just missing. And you still have your spiritual guardians up, I believe, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my spiritual guardians. No, because I think I broke concentration, didn't I? When I had to stop and do inflict wounds. No, maybe
Inflict
not. Maybe not.
wounds Is
I just-
not
No, it's
a
not.
I
It's
just don't
not
know that you...
concentration
No, it's-
spell.
No, it's not a concentration.
So it's still up.
No, so it's still
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
But they're.
They follow you around.
Oh, they follow me around.
Yeah, they're centered
okay.
on you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all right, so I got them up. All right,
Yeah, it's like your little team.
all right,
Yeah.
all right, team.
Angelic team of ass kickers, hopefully. All right, Flinta.
All right, moving on up.
Yep. 5,
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
He is.
So he would be within my circle too.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
So is that guy. It goes out. It's 15-foot
15,
radius.
15 foot radius.
5, 10, 15. So it's basically like a circle like this.
Everybody except for
Flinta, this guy is now flanked, so you do have advantage on your attacks.
Okay.
Just FYI.
So that means I get to roll twice and pick the higher.
Correct.
There's 10. There's 2. I'll go with the 10.
Okay.
10 plus 4, 14.
That hits. Yeah.
And then we're going two-handed on the silver longsword.
Yep.
So I'm rolling a 10.
Yeah.
We're going to go 4 plus 4 strength plus 2 is 10 damage.
Nice. And you just see the sword just hack right into it and just opens up a big gaping wound. But you can't really tell if the creature's blood or it's just covered in blood. It looks like it's been inside something. It's so stained with blood. All right, and then you have a
And then I got a
second
bonus
attack because you're
attack.
frenzied.
Yep. And still flanked, still have an advantage.
Yep.
That's a 6, right? Yep.
Oops.
Let's try that one again. 8 plus 4 is 12.
And that one misses.
Shit.
And then that brings us to number 9 here, who's going to attack again with the sword. He's barely hanging on. He's just going to make an attack here and misses. Number 1 hits with the sword attack, doing some damage. Creature's looking pretty rough. Number 12 takes another arrow shot. Hopefully doesn't miss. Hits.
Good.
You can see that as these blows from these guys are hitting this thing, it doesn't seem to phase it as much as when you're hitting it.
Both of us or just me?
Both of you.
Okay.
And then number 7. Oh, natural 20. Wow, I'm rolling good.
Seven's lucky 7 is what that is.
And then number 1 takes another arrow shot. Also hits. So this thing is just getting riddled with arrows sticking out of it right now. Okay. Brings us back to the creature. Actually, before that happens, as it responds to the arrow throwing, it's going to do a belch. It's going to do a wretched spittle attack towards number 7 here. Glob of rancid spittle emanates from its mouth. And it just goes...
Is that the same thing that it did earlier, or
Yeah.
is this something new? All right.
And that hits... It actually takes all those guys.
Rancid spittle.
Oh yeah, they're all dead. Those guys are done. Then it turns. Actually, it's going to attack this guy because he's almost dead. And it wants to kill. It grabs him and takes him into its mouth. It's going to take a bite. Cocked. Misses. But it's got this guy in its hand. And then it turns around and smashes you, Flinta, with this guy.
Oh.
Okay, now he's in my circle.
Oh yeah, he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
He's in my circle of love.
23. That saves.
Yeah.
But he's going to bludgeon you with this dude. 17.
17, I got problems.
Let's see.
Well, half of 17 would be 7 or
Well, no, that's to hit. 17 to hit. I'm going to figure out.
that's just going to hit.
I'm going to do, I need some improvised damage here. Here we go. Yeah. 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So I think you take
5,
half of that.
take
So 2.
2.
Yep. 2 bludgeoning. And that's its turn. Now that brings us to Selise.
Bludgeoned with a villager.
Yeah.
Live villager.
Ah!
All right. Well, I'm gonna take a swing at it with the spiritual weapon since
Okay.
it's hanging there still. Christ Almighty. Christ Almighty. I'm calling for you. 11, which isn't gonna do squat.
No, that doesn't hit.
But I'm wondering. I want to try something. I don't know if do I have this movement. Do I have another action? Because
Well, you use your bonus action for the spiritual
weapon. So
you have an action.
I have an action. What I'd like to do is I've got my holy water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pouring it on an arrow.
Oh.
And I'm knocking an arrow, and I'm really, really, really close. So I'm gonna try to hit him with an arrow that's been doused in holy water.
It's going to take you an action to douse it with holy water.
Okay.
So you won't be able to.
I won't be able to
from
shoot
now.
it.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm going to do an inflict wounds at its regular spell level
Okay.
1. Is what I'm gonna
What
do.
do I need to do again? Oh yeah, you rolled a hit.
I have to roll the hit. I missed.
What'd you get?
3 plus
Oh.
3 is
3
6.
plus doesn't matter. All
3
right.
plus doesn't matter
Shoot.
is exactly
Yeah,
right.
that sucks.
I'm retiring this.
Yeah, put that in a dice jail.
That dice jail is right.
Do you want to move?
Do
you want to stay put?
I'm gonna stay put
Okay. Flinta.
because I want to keep my little circle around Flinta here.
He's got a villager in his hand that he just hit you with.
I'm going at him with the sword again. The silver longsword.
Okay.
11.
God, We have got no luck,
Miss.
my
And your
friend.
second strike.
Second one. That's the same roll. 11.
Okay. Thing just kind of dodges out of the way, and actually, one of the strikes you hit the villager, and the villager dies.
Yeah, where the hell is Smitty anyway? Where is Smitty? I can yell for him.
Yeah, I should.
Well, people are screaming and yelling, and people are now starting to show up. You know, they're hauling off the dead bodies of these 3 guys, but there's like a couple people that are coming in from here.
They're not leaving us hanging. Well, that's a plus.
And yeah, that's where we're at right now. So that brings us to number 1 with the sword, just freaking out, watching all this happen. Is going to take a swipe and misses again. These guys are going to move into position here, but they're going to kind of get behind you, like that. And number 5 is going to take a shot with an arrow and hits. Another arrow. This thing is just getting littered with arrows. Actually, this guy probably wouldn't have done that. He would have been there. Number 12, arrow, also hits. Wow, I'm rolling really good for these guys all of a sudden. Okay, and then this guy doesn't do anything. He's just kind of there. Okay, brings us to creature.
Oh, creature.
It's going to take the villager that it has in its hand, and it's going to stuff it. You're gonna see this mouth open up again with all these rows of teeth, and it just shoves the whole thing in its mouth. It's almost like how snakes can sort of unhinge their jaws. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this thing looks like. Oh yeah, yeah. It just and just you can see blood just squish out from the corners of its mouth as it clomps down on it. And it does a whole bunch of damage. Oof. And as it does that, you can almost sense that it kind of gains some strength, and some of the wounds that you've inflicted start to heal themselves. And that villager is gone. And then let's see. It's going to attack Flinta with a scratch attack.
Oh.
20 to hit.
Yep, 20 hits.
And it's going to be 8 slashing damage. Which I think you only take half of that.
So that's 4.
Mm-hmm.
I am down to 1 hit point.
Oh, buddy.
At that point,
and he's healing.
At that point, roll perception real quick.
18.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Oh. I'm sorry, that one's in dice jail. Not that helped. Sorry. I'm sorry, perception you say?
Mm-hmm.
17.
Okay, you both see somebody sneaking up behind here. Hand me Smitty's sheet.
Oh!
You see Smitty come up behind it with 2 knives and just...
Is one of them the silvered?
Yeah, one of them is a silvered knife. Let's see. That hits. 23 and 17 hits. Both of them hit. The silver dagger. Oh, wow, okay.
Full
And
damage.
sneak attack
I rolled a
damage.
4.
Sneak
So that's
attack
going to be
too.
11 plus, what's sneak attack for him? What level are you guys? 5 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
3d6 sneak attack damage. Woo! 15 plus 11 is 26 damage. Woo!
That's good.
This creature just howls as he comes in and stabs it once with the silver dagger, and then with his normal dagger he misses with the other one, but you just see this thing like that, and you see Smitty with a big old shit-eating grin on his face. That
Yeah, his turn.
That's his turn, and now it's Selise.
Do I help or attack? That's my question right now. Shit. Son of a bitch. I think I'm going to well, I'll take a whack at it with the spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Still hanging there, still doing the thing. 15.
That hits.
And where am I at with my spiritual weapon? Because I think at a higher level I get spiritual weapon. Okay, I didn't use that at a higher level, did I? All right, 1d8, 8. 6, 11.
This is 11 spiritual
11.
damage?
11.
Or is it radiant? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This thing is looking pretty rough right now. What are you going to do for your action, Selise?
For my action, I'm going to hit it again with the Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And,
And this time you have advantage because it's flanked.
All right. And I'm sorry, what does that mean?
You get to roll the d20 twice and take the better.
Oh, good. Because I don't want a 2.
Oh, there you
I'll
go.
take that 17.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Plus 20. So that's 20.
Okay.
And 6 plus for I'm sorry, what am I
Sacred
doing?
flame damage.
Sacred Flame. Sacred Flame. Where am I? Sacred Flame. This is a new one. Spells damage increases when you reach 5th level 2d8. So 6.
That's a d10.
6. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Let's try that again. 1 plus 1, 2.
Plus your... Yeah, 2. Okay.
2. Just 2.
2.
Yep.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just 2. Little blast of sacred energy comes out of Anna, or Selise, excuse me. I miss Anna.
I miss her too because I knew her spells like in and out. This for some reason I can't wrap my head around
Well,
these.
it's only your third session with
these
this.
spiritual spells. Like I'm
Well, and
like,
the cool thing is you get to change them up
yeah.
every time too, so you can use a lot of different spells. All right, that was your bonus action. Your action. Do you want to move?
No, I want to stay because I got to keep my 15 feet.
Right.
My spiritual guardians rolling.
We did not do the damage from your spiritual guardians last time.
Oh,
Wisdom
Okay.
saving throw, correct?
yeah.
That's a failure.
Okay.
Well, actually, what is it? Is it 13? I get it. Sorry. No, that saves.
all right. Yeah, 13.
So it's
is-
half damage?
Yeah.
And what's the damage roll? You're going to have to roll damage
Oh,
for me. For spiritual guardian.
my damage is, that's an 8 again. Yeah, 3 times that. 8, 13, 16, 8.
Okay. This thing is looking beat up. That brings us to Flinta.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So he is flanked, so I wouldn't get any advantage out of going to reckless attack.
No.
Because that's the
You already have
same.
advantage.
I already have the advantage.
Yep.
All right. I'm going at it with that same silvered longsword.
Okay.
8 and 4 is 12.
You have advantage though, so you get to roll again.
Oh, good. Thank you. Worse. 12.
12 misses. Second attack.
Second attack. 18.
Then you have advantage, so.
Yep. Might as well try one more time.
Yeah.
Same, 18.
Okay. Plus whatever hits.
Plus whatever hits, going after this 10, using it two-handed.
Yep.
5, 6, 7 damage.
Okay.
And that was the second attack. I'm gonna stay flanking.
Okay.
Stay put right there.
And
Okay.
does the spiritual damage, or the spiritual guardians...
How long does that
Oh,
spell
that's
last
just
for?
me, my spell. Concentration up to 10 minutes.
Have you been hit yet?
Yeah,
You have.
7.
You took damage?
I took damage.
Oh, you should roll a Constitution saving throw. I forgot to make you do that. So roll a Constitution saving throw. This is to see if you can maintain your concentration.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
so I use the the D20 plus...
Your Constitution saving throw modifier, which is plus 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
so 13.
13. Oh yeah, you maintain your concentration. Nicely done. Okay, good. Then we don't have to...
Oh, and I took this one out of jail even,
Nice.
without even thinking.
All right, we've got number 1 is going to attack again with a sword. Missing. Number 12, bow. Hits. Man, this thing is like a pincushion. Number 10, misses. 5, misses. All right, that brings us to the creature. And it has to do a wisdom saving throw for your spirit guardians. 15? I think yours is 13, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so it takes half damage. So whatever your damage is, you're going to roll again, I think. What was it, 3d8 or something?
Yeah, 3d8. 3, 7, 8, 4.
4 damage?
What, you're taking half, you
Yeah.
said? Yeah, 4.
Okay.
4 is half.
Okay, got it. Okay. That brings us back to the creature's attack. That was its...
Sorry.
Well, it's going to turn around and go after Smitty.
Oh no, Smitty! Since he's not
Since he
here.
just did massive damage to it. I'm going to do a scratch attack, which hits, I believe. What's his AC? I think that's a 16. This hits. It's going to be 4. Okay, and again, missing. Okay. That brings us to Smitty. Smitty's going to attack again with the daggers. First attack.
His magical daggers.
Yep. Is going to hit. And he does have advantage, so he gets his sneak attack damage. So he gets 1d4 plus 7. So that's 9 plus 3d6. 15, 23.
23 damage
Yep.
to Smitty?
No, he just
Smitty
dealt.
just did it to the animal.
Okay.
Yep.
The
And
thing.
then he attacks with the other knife,
Which one is the silvered? This
the
one?
one that he hit with before,
Oh, okay.
and
All right.
misses.
Okay.
That brings us to Selise.
All right. Another whack with the spiritual weapon.
Or actually, hold on,
Wait.
before that happens, sorry. He's going to use his riposte action against Smitty. And that is going to miss. He misses. Sorry. All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
Well, and
So Smitty daggers him, and then he takes an attack as a reaction.
but Smitty's in my circle too, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know if that makes any difference or not. It's
Not right
only
now.
after me, right? So
What are you doing right now?
I'm a
Spiritual weapon.
spiritual weapon.
Got it.
Yep. So 18
Hits.
hits, and so my D 8.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, I got him! I'm just like with a spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
and then right into his chest and
Oh, beautiful. The spirit, the radiant energy from your weapon.
just and then
And
he's
just-
just a pile of goo on the ground.
bloody
is-
pile of goo.
The bloody green pile of goo, and then the green acidy stuff eats itself up.
Wow. Yeah. And
And there's nothing left but a scorch mark on the street
in the snow.
in the snow.
And Flinta, you get a front row seat to that
Yes.
whole deal.
And
Just
I
kind
am
of.
so relieved.
And then Smitty kind of stumbles and like sits down. Oh God, he's exhausted.
And and I am going to. You're in pretty rough shape, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a mass healing word. I'm going to do a mass healing word because I've got a spell slot left on that. So I'm going to do a mass heal. A flood of healing energy flows from you into injured creatures around you. Restore up to 700 hit points, divided as you choose among any number of creatures that you see within range. Creatures are healed by this spell are also cured of all diseases and any effect making them blind or deafened. This spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
Wow, that's a hell of a spell.
Wow.
Yeah.
What level spell is that?
Mass heal. Mass healing word. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong one. Sorry.
I was
I was
gonna
looking at
say,
mass heal.
yeah.
Mass healing word.
Okay, that's
sorry.
better.
As you call out words of restoration, up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range regain hit points equal to 1d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. So
Which is wisdom.
1d4. So that's 5. 5 points. So 5 points for you, 5 points for Smitty, and
Nice.
5 points for me.
Okay.
How about that?
There you go. So as you're doing that,
So I'm only at a -2 now.
Dimitri and Anna run up, and as you see this creature just kind of like laying dead in the street, it's pretty much blown away, but they run up and they're like, I can't believe it, you did it. Do you think this is the creature? And then people start talking, is that the sheep killer, and the people are kind of gathering around this dead body looking at it, and it's pretty much turned to mush, and the people start like patting you on the back, and they're like, thank you, you did it. And Dimitri, the burgomaster, walks up to you and says, you've done a very good thing here today. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
So what do you figure? You think that was the thing we were looking for?
Those teeth sure look like what I saw on the bones. And it certainly could jump that wall without any problem. We saw it jump.
Poke at it a couple of times with the sword. Just
Well, there
to make
isn't
sure
much
the
left. The
pile of
acid
goo
ate
is,
it ate itself.
What should we do? Should we burn it?
We should do something.
Yeah, burn it! And some of the people start coming over with logs and some fuel, and they're getting ready to burn it.
I don't know. I don't know if burning it is a good idea.
Boris comes over and he kind of picks Smitty up off the snow, and he's like, come on. You've done enough here today, and kind of helps Smitty walking back towards the house.
So you gave him 5, right?
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
still
Right, I
he's
know.
still pretty wiped
He's
out.
still right. I'm just. I think rather than burning, I think maybe we need to douse it with some holy water. I think that's a better choice
Ah, yes.
for this
Yeah.
animal. This thing, it seems to be thriving on heat. So let's. I've got some holy water. I'm just gonna
Pour the holy water
sprinkle,
on it.
sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle.
Okay. Sounds good. Flinta, anything you want to do?
What do I have? I also have holy water. I've got some moonshine.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need that.
Yeah.
The Burgomaster. when you say moonshine, the Burgomaster says, "Ah, yes, it is time to celebrate." He turns to a couple of the men. He says, I want to post some guards on the sheep pen tonight, just in case there's another one. We should definitely keep an eye out. But I think this is the creature. I think we have cause for celebration."
All right. As she's dumping the holy water, I'm gonna grab a log, big chunk of stick, and disperse everything and spread it all out.
Everybody's like, "Ugh,
Yeah,
gross."
And I'm making sure that it's all gooed in there and it's not coming back.
And as you do that, you can just kind of see the first faint whiffs of snow starting to fall again, and people are kind of hugging each other. Some of the younger children are crying, and the parents are kind of consoling them. And you end up following Boris and Smitty as they make their way back to the hovel. And
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty exhausted too. I'm definitely gonna need a long rest here because I've used up just about every spell slot I've got, almost.
and this
Anyway.
might be a great spot to end for the night, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll pick up back in the aftermath of the monster killing.
The killing
next
of the
time.
monster.
Yeah, nice job, you guys. That was kind of touch and go there for
It
a
was.
little bit.
Touch and go.
It was.
Smitty kind of came out of nowhere and
Yes.
laid down some. He did like
He laid
Yeah,
down
what
the
did you-
smackdown on him.
he did
Did
like
23?
almost. Yeah, it was like 26 damage or something. Yeah, 26 damage.
God, I kept missing and missing and